What is the average number of hours a student is required to give in a week, during a week for his assignment? And yeah.
Okay. Well, hours-wise, I mean, the cool thing about Animation Mentors is it's all online, and people can learn at their own pace, and they can take as much time as they want or as little as they want. Now, we believe that you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you put in, 40 hours a week, you're going to get a lot more out of it than if you're putting 10. And that's just the way it is, and we kind of require people to spend about 20 hours a week on Animation Mentor, but a lot of people spend 50 hours. And again, it's really relative to the person. If they have a family, that's much more difficult for them to do that many hours. If they have a full-time job, it's more difficult, but it's not impossible. And can someone do the job, a full-time job and AM? Yeah, if they can.
So there are students doing that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. The majority of the students are doing that.
There's been students kind of like cruising, like going through all information that is in the website, and they spend a lot more than 60 hours. Where there's just a lot of content throughout the entire website on a week per week basis. And there's students that they, and that's all learning stuff. So yeah, they spend a lot of time.
And what is the most common advice do you stress on your students?
The biggest one that I can think about, there's a lot. But one of the biggest ones that I think that we all kind of agree is that the software is your tool. And a lot of people get caught up on which software should I use, or should I use this or that, and it doesn't matter. You just choose one, the one that works for you, and you make that your pencil. The software is your pencil, but the ideas that you come up with, the things that you create, that's what makes you an animator. It's the execution of that. So that's the big thing that I like to make sure people know.
It's not about what you use, it's what you do with what you use.
What?
What?
Okay, probably here's a big one. Teaching character animation was a challenge in itself. What's the next challenge for AM now that it's already set up, and what's the next challenge?
Well, again, it's
a lot of challenges constantly. There's a lot of evolving things. As the industry is evolving, we really believe education should also evolve to meet the standards of the industry. So, for example, like tools, stuff like that. Like something that we try to do is like also keep up with technology at the same time. So that's a big challenge in itself. It's like trying to make sure that are we providing the best education? Okay, what are the things that we need? Better tools. Okay, well then work on that. So like that's one of them at least. And do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always going to evolve. And until we. I think that there's always room for improvement in anything, and I think that's just a part of any artist is always going to say that. So to me, there's still some big stuff that we can do. We kind of announced some of the new tools that we have coming out, like Carlos was saying. That's big, but, and it's huge because it helps the students learn. But it's always going to be about, are our graduates what the studios need? Do they have the skills they need to not just be animators and push buttons, but to be people who can think about story and filmmaking and put that together and be more than just somebody who can animate a shot really well, but someone who can actually create characters that are believable and memorable. That's always going to be key for us.